Taylor Hale, welcome to Reality of Reality. Thank you so much for doing this. I always try to start off really professional, but then I'm like, I just have to tell you guys, we've been gabbing for like 20 minutes before we even got in here. So I'm glad now it's finally being recorded just in case any tea is spilled.
Oh, here we go.
But how are you?
I'm good. Thanks for having me.
Oh my gosh.
I'm such a fan of your TikToks, and not just the TikToks, like the content and the quality that you put out. And I think I finally messaged you and actually followed you, because I did the thing where I would always just see your stuff and I'd be like, oh, I like you, like, swipe. And then when I finally realized I'm not following you, I was like, why am I withholding this follow?
Yeah, but that's not your fault. That's TikTok's fault.
Yeah.
The second you follow someone, they fall off the face of the earth.
They do, yes.
Yeah.
I swear I saw your stuff more when I wasn't following than I do now. But we chatted, and I finally got to tell you, like, I just appreciate the work that you do. And you turned a message into an opportunity, and now my ass is sitting right here.
Wow.
Look, it's hustle. I respect good hustle, okay?
Well, it started off with Taylor literally DM'd me and said, we got to get you watching Big Brother.
Oh, yeah.
And you're right, but you're right. Like, you are so right. Of all the reality shows I watch, I don't watch Big Brother. Self-admittedly, I've never pretended to watch Big Brother. Yeah. And I did kind of make a promise to myself when I started doing this show that I was like, I don't ever want to have anyone on here from a show that I don't watch. Like, I don't want to seem like...
Surprise.
Right, and here you are. But I didn't want to seem like an opportunist, right? Like, I'm just trying to talk to people. But when Taylor Hale slides into your DMs, you seize the opportunity, obviously. Okay. And I do think it would be kind of fun, because I really don't know much about Big Brother. Yeah. That, like, the questions I have might be some that people that have watched Big Brother for years, it just comes second nature to them. But I would hope that there are people listening to this podcast that aren't familiar, and they're going to learn something today, and then they'll go back and watch your season.
Ooh, Godspeed and good luck. It's a wild ride. But I think also, like, you know, I didn't know the ins and outs of Big Brother until I ended up on the show and had to learn everything before going on it. Back in the day, it was Miss Michigan USA. I didn't know anything about the pageant world or title holders or things like that until I decided I want to do this. So it is not unnatural or weird for someone to not know what's going on with the TV show. You just don't know yet.
Right. So although I don't know much about Big Brother, I do know a lot about you. Because when you DM me, I was like, I obviously know you.
Yeah, and I was like, what? How?
Because that's just the way the world works. I've never seen Big Brother, but I know who Taylor Hale is. So I'm going to have to hype you up for a second. And just in case anyone listening doesn't know, Taylor Hale is Miss Michigan 2021. Yeah. You then went on to win Miss Congeniality in Miss USA.
Yeah.
Was it like the movie?
Well, we didn't have any murder plots.
Okay, no one like in the FBI.
No,
okay,
there was no FBI or murder plots involved. Not at that point. But I mean, I had a great time. Like, the girls were really fucking cool.
Hell yeah.
We had people who were doctors. We had people who were, I'm pretty sure, my year lawyers, journalists, creative people, scientific people, like, just really, really cool, beautiful women that weren't intimidated by other powerful women. And so to be the one that they all voted for and be like, hey, she's cool too.
Right.
That was cool.
Miss Congeniality, in my opinion, is kind of like, you're the coolest of all the cool girls. Like, you're the one. You're the one. I didn't even know Miss Congeniality was like a real thing.
Oh no, I would totally think it were fake if I didn't get into the pageant stuff. Like, oh, all the nice girls vote for the nice girl. I will be real. In some state pageants, because you got to win a state pageant before you go to a national pageant. In some states, it's kind of like the bless her heart. It's like, oh, you showed up and you gave it your
It's
all.
the Spirit Award.
The Spirit Award.
Yeah,
yes.
got you.
But I remember I did have a moment where I was like, is this the Spirit Award?
Yeah.
Like, oh, because I make top 15, so this is a Spirit Award. And I remember a group of girls came up to me and they said, the thing that stands out about you is that, like, in our rehearsals, we can hear you cheering for everybody, but then we also see you cheer for yourself just as hard as you do for all of us. And I was like, thanks, guys.
Yeah, that's really sweet. That comes from the heart.
Yeah.
You were also the first Black woman to ever win Big Brother.
Yeah.
Not only did you win your season of Big Brother, you also won the America's Favorite Houseguest prize. So you won the show, you won America's Favorite Houseguest, which led to you winning the most money anybody's ever won on Big Brother. I think that still stands.
Yeah, still stands.
At $800,000. Like, I have to hype you up for that. That's crazy.
It was insane. You know, you go from, I was a personal stylist, like an independent personal stylist. Before that, I worked at a place called Trunk Club, Trunk with a K. And I was doing custom suits and styling. Once I left there, I went independent, but it was my first time starting a business. So like took a lot of money out. And I was also doing this during the pandemic, also competing in the pageant and training for nationals. So a lot of people in my family invested in my dream. And so to turn around a couple months after passing, I think it wasn't even a full month, maybe like a couple weeks after passing my crown to the next girl, and then going on Big Brother and walking out with $800,000.
I mean,
it's nice to be able to say like I've never known struggle since.
Yeah, and you've earned it. I mean, you've worked hard in that Big Brother house. I have obviously done my research since I knew I was going to talk to you, and you really worked hard.
You were working.
You also gave, I can't leave this part out because I do have a question about it. You gave one of the most badass, iconic final speeches I've like truly ever seen on a competition reality show. And I think that's how I knew who you were, because I remember that was all over the internet. Yeah. If you guys haven't seen it, go look up the clip. It's worth it. Did you write that and like memorize it, or was that like straight off the dome?
Oh, no, not off the dome. Definitely not off the dome. But in the Big Brother house, you don't have access to pen or paper or anything. And so I think it was maybe like the night before or 2 nights before. I mean, I gotta set the scene for you guys.
Okay.
In the Big Brother house, the end game, there are 3 parts to the final competition for power. We'll call it. It's head of household. Part 1 and part 2 happen on different days. So I lost part 1 and I lost part 2, which meant that I was not eligible to compete in part 3, which happens live on the finale. And whoever wins part 3 can choose who to eliminate live on the finale, which effectively means you're choosing who you'll sit next to do this final speech battle and face the jury. I was the only woman left in the house. I was super, super defeated because I felt like the only way I would get that jury to respect my game was if I won myself to the end. And having not done that, I was like so heartbroken and defeated. But then I remembered that Big Brother there's no one rubric for how to win Big Brother. And I said, if I can just narrate why my win or my experience in this game is just as valid of a reason to win compared to the more traditional way, then maybe I have a shot here. And so instead of studying and practicing for the final 3 head of household competition, I drank, because I wasn't eligible, I drank 2 ciders and I put them in a wine glass and I went in the bathroom. The bathroom's like an open area with day beds and everything. Right. And I went in that bathroom and I just sat in a corner and I talked out my whole experience. And there were a couple lines that were a little zippy, and I was like, "Ooh, that's a bar."
Which definitely was helpful that you were drinking too.
Yes,
like that, the drunk words or sober thoughts. Yeah.
And I just kind of kept going over the things that I liked and the things that I felt were poignant, and I mapped it out into maybe like 5 bullet points of the things I thought were important. And I kept going over it in my head. And I was just hoping I got the shot to say it on finale night, and I did.
Sure did. Yeah. You sure did. So at the beginning of every one of these episodes, I do always give like, because we're really getting into it already. So I like to give the premise of like what the show is that we're talking about. Although I can't imagine people don't know what Big Brother is at this point. It is truly one of the biggest reality shows that there are. It's not just in America, they're all over the world. So the one in America though started in 2000 and it has 27 seasons. And the premise of Big Brother is a group of strangers that are called Houseguests live together in a custom built home, isolated from the outside world, and are constantly filmed. Each week, you compete in competitions to earn power and safety with the goal of avoiding being evicted. The very last remaining house guest wins a large cash prize. Yeah. Like this person right here. So that sounds about right?
Yeah,
That's
I like the custom build home. It's a soundstage on a studio lot.
Okay, let's get into that. So the Big Brother house is a stage.
It's a stage. It is a stage on the CBS studio lot. And yeah, you literally get driven over there. They sequester you for about 2 weeks when they fly you out. No phone, no nothing, no TV. Like they unplug the TVs and the phones in the hotel room. They stay sequestered in.
What do you do? Well, what did you do for 2 weeks alone?
I'm a super, super introverted person. So being alone, and I'm an only child.
Oh, you were probably like, this is amazing.
I was living. And I brought like crosswords and word searches. And they have one of those, do you remember? So we're like the same age. Do you remember those portable DVD players?
Oh, of course.
Like the 2000s.
Yes. With the little screen, yeah.
The itty bit that's like this big. Yeah. They have one of those for every person that's in sequester.
Okay, but I'm sorry. They could have afforded a little bit more than a little DVD player with this little itty bitty screen.
Why reinvest in sequester? Why would you do that?
That's definitely the same DVD player they have been using since like season 4.
Yes, definitely. I almost wanted to scratch my name in and be like, the following year, be like, hey, did anyone get that one?
Like what people would do with books in school. You would like sign your book. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Wow.
But so they give you those, and then there's a big binder of movies and TV shows that you have to call on the phone. Sorry, they do leave the phone plugged in, but they reprogram it so that it only goes to one room. And so you call the room and you say, hi, this is your nickname, which is just your name abbreviated into 3 letters. So I'll say, hi, this is TYL.
Wait, why couldn't you say your name?
Because if any reason, if they bring the house guest to sequester and in waves. So like everyone gets what they call kidnapped. We're getting in the weaves. Everyone gets
None
kidnapped.
of these were even remote. I'm just to throw this out. None of I did not know any of this shit.
Yeah, you wouldn't find it anywhere, truly, unless you know where to look for it. But if we're going to rewind a little bit, when you're watching the first episode of Big Brother, the house guest will be surprised, genuinely, with the key to the house. And so what they tell you before they fly out to do a day in your life is, hey, we're going to fly out, we're going to send a film crew, your top 20. So we're going to film a day in the life, and then we're going to go back to LA and we'll pick our final 16 house guests, and we'll fly you out if you make the cut. So you do the whole day in your life, and the producer, they're with you all day, they're asking you questions, they're filming stuff, and then whoever is there helping you, your mom, your friend, whatever, they'll pull you to the side, mic you up while they're briefing your loved one, let's say in another room, and they'll tell them, we're going to give Taylor the key to the Big Brother house, and then her flight's in 2 hours. And so you literally go back in there and you think you're just filming another part of your day in the life. And then I got surprised with the key by one of my clients, which was really cool. And they said, you get one phone call and then your flight we have to leave your flight immediately. And I called my grandma and said, hey, I'll either see you in 3 weeks or 3 months. I don't know.
Wow. Would you pack?
Oh, so they also tell you, here's what I think is funny about the kidnapping process. Because it's kind of like a wink and a nod, right?
Okay.
So everything I just said is true, right? But in that same email, they'll also say, but also have one single suitcase packed and by the door. And so that's when they call it kidnapping. You take your one suitcase and you go to the airport. Someone would think I was being like trafficked or something if they were really paying attention. Because like I gave my ID and my keys and everything to my handler who would give it to the person and went through security like that. I wasn't allowed to go into any of the bookstores. Because from the second that they take you, you can't look at any news sources or listen to music on the radio, nothing.
Why not though? Like, how would that help you? Or is it just maybe to keep the whole like you're sequestered from the outside world thing? It's not like it would help you in the game.
It would, but you never know. Like the day I was sequestered, I was the last house guest to know that Roe v. Wade was overturned at that point. And so who knows if I go into the house and I have the information. I guess I could have done it. But if I had the information and I connect with somebody over that news and I'm not connecting with other people over that news, that could be a really strong alliance and I could overcome it. Like there's advantages you can find in everything, right?
Any knowledge is power.
Any knowledge
like
is power in the Big Brother game house.
Yeah.
Game house, all those things.
Yeah.
So anyway, I say all that to say they kidnap you, you go to sequester for about 2 weeks and you are there with DVDs and a 2000s DVD player and you could bring your own books and like curling irons. But then when you move into the Big Brother house on the soundstage in LA, it's done. Your own curling irons, electric toothbrushes, gone. Oh. They hold on to those. You can only use the stuff that's in the house.
So there was a real backyard though. Like that was actually outside or
yes,
no?
It is actually outside.
Because they can't deprive you from the sun for however long you're in there.
Well, there's no windows in the house. And I sound crazy when I finally
You
tell
went to jail, Taylor.
I know. I've told people that have been to jail about this and they're like, oh, so like you was on the yard. And I'm like, we do call it the yard.
Right. Yeah. They're probably like, we had more outdoor time than you did.
Honestly, maybe because genuinely there's no windows in the Big Brother house. When you do have access to the backyard, we only have access to maybe 3 days out of the week if we're lucky.
Wow. That was another question. So you can't just go outside whenever you want. Like there was like certain times of when you can do things in the house.
Generally, it's because of how they build competitions. Competitions are usually built in the backyard. And like they do an incredible job completely transforming everything.
Yeah.
But there's real hard, handy work that goes into it. And they tell you, don't walk barefoot in the backyard because there could be like a loose nail or screw or something
Wow.
around. Like they do their best, they vacuum, but yeah, there could be some random nail from the competition you just did that was holding your body weight.
You are literally living in a soundstage.
Yes.
Like it's not, and I have read interviews where people say like, it doesn't even look like a house in there. Like you feel like you're on a stage. Is it true? Like the ceiling is like this?
The ceiling is like this.
Oh my God.
But it's like that office, like popcorn, like the thing that you can lift up. Yeah. But you see like you don't see wires, but you do see the cameras and the microphones that hang down from above. You see all the rigging of the lights. Like, yeah, it's a set. You're living on a set. And that's why people wear sunglasses inside all the time, because you're dealing with studio lights all day.
I need to rewind for 1 second.
I know, I took you in so deep.
No,
I'm
that
sorry.
was sick. Like I'm like, truly, I mean it. Those questions weren't even on my radar to ask you. Being on Big Brother, just hearing your take of it doesn't sound super appealing to me. So what made you, I mean, it's obviously appealing to so many people, but what made you want to go on Big Brother? Like, did you apply or did they find you?
They found me.
Because this was after you did the pageants.
This was, it's while and I love talking about the pageants just because, like, you talk to people that do pageants and you think, oh, so you did this your whole life. I was like, no, I was senior year of college. I said, that looks like fun. I want to do it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Of college? So you were like 21 and decided.
Well, that was the first time I competed and I placed top whatever. And then I waited 3 years until I felt like I was ready to compete again. And that's when I competed again and ended up winning. So I
so casual. Yeah, I took a couple of years off. Decided to enter a pageant real fast. Got Miss Michigan.
But that's kind of the story of all these experiences I've had on TV, right? Like I didn't know much about Big Brother. A girl who was on Big Brother a couple seasons ahead of me, Bailey, she had the same pageant coach that I did. And that pageant coach, it all comes back to pageants. That pageant coach had a really team mentality. So even though I wasn't competing at the time when Bailey was competing at Miss USA, I had trained with this coach before and I was like, any of our girls, those are my girls. I'm going to root for them. So when Bailey did well at Miss USA and then she ended up on Big Brother, I was like, oh, good for her. But I kind of fell off on following the journey. So I knew about Big Brother. I watched Celebrity Big Brother.
Oh, yeah, those are great.
That was fun. Mm-hmm. And Shayna Moaklier is the state director of Nevada and Utah, Miss USA. And so like I was rooting for Shayna when she was doing Celebrity, but it was one of those things where I was like, I'm not going to do this. Simultaneously, I was Miss Michigan USA. If I'm a casting director for any reality TV show, I'm going to go on the Miss USA and Miss America websites and see who placed top 15, who got a special award, like who can I recruit for any TV show. So that year, when I was a title holder, I got recruited for F-Boy Island.
No way.
Reese Witherspoon had some like Finding Love in France.
Oh, yeah,
Paris.
vaguely remember that.
Yeah, they wanted me to be one of the leads for that. Bachelor reached out. It was the second time they recruited me for that one. I think there were like 2 more or something like that. And then the casting director of The Amazing Race, who is also the casting director of Big Brother and Survivor, DM'd me and said, do you want to do The Amazing Race? And I said, I don't want to ruin a friendship, like a real friendship, for $1 million. Mm-hmm. It's dicey. I don't know.
We've seen horror stories from Amazing Race.
You know, and not just The Race, but a lot of other TV shows. Like, it can really ruin real friendships. So I said, if I'm going to jeopardize anybody's reputation, it's only going to be mine. And I feel the most comfortable doing that on Big Brother because another element of Big Brother are the 24/7 live feeds. And you know reality TV. It is very easy to take somebody and edit them however you want. You can Frankenbite so that someone can say something they didn't really say. You can take it out of context. Yeah. You can edit somebody into a villain or someone into a martyr. And so I was just like, if I'm going to do reality TV, I want to go in a place where I'll feel the safest. And that was Big Brother. Wow. Because if I'm a good person, which I like to believe I am, I make mistakes.
You're Miss Congeniality.
You know, I'm infallible. But I was like, if I go anywhere, these cameras are going to catch everything. And even if, you know, they're on all the time is what I believe. They cut sometimes here and there, which can get annoying. But if these 24/7 live feed cameras can watch me, I think the audience is going to know and understand me, my motivations. I can talk to the audience on these cameras and say, hey, like, I just did this to this person and I would never do this in my real life, but I want to win that money in the end, and this is what I think I have to do that, right?
Wow.
So like that communication felt like a safeguard, and the live feeds ended up being the thing that really protected me on the show, because if you're watching and you don't know this, I really had a rough time those first few weeks.
Yeah, I was going to ask about your experience on the show, because it did seem like you were really bullied on the show. Like you can't sugarcoat it. Like you were, and it was interesting. You know, it's interesting that you say that about the live feeds, and that's a really amazing point that I didn't even think about, that Big Brother and the Big Brother live feeds are really the only reality show where you can truly control your own narrative.
Yeah.
Those live feeds scare the shit out of me, but now that I think about it, they are like the greatest thing ever.
The best.
And
yeah.
I saw a clip where someone was saying, one of your ops was saying like, just wait until you watch this at home. You're going to see what we were all like saying about you.
Yeah.
But it's like, but then all the fans are like, what are you talking about? So for those of you that don't know, Big Brother has their episodes that you see air on CBS, but they also have live feeds, which is truly why the show is called Big Brother. Big Brother is always watching your film 24/7. So I have heard that a lot of people say that the actual show they air on CBS is a very different narrative than what you see on the live feeds.
It can be. And that just comes down to like, who are the major players and how can we take this? I think the best way to explain it is that the people who run the show are building the plane as it's flying. You know, the narrative in the house can be going one way, or the alliance and trajectory of something can be going one way, and the producers will build the show around this alliance or these moves that were made. But then overnight, when the episode is approved and ready to air, an alliance can flip everything overnight. Or, you know, some argument can happen and things can be said that completely shift your personal perspective on a person. And I think also something I'm kind of understanding, because it was really frustrating for me as a fan of the show now, to watch the live feeds and see certain people one way, and then watch the episodes and see them, maybe in my perspective, not getting fully edited how I think they should be.
Right.
I was really struggling with trying to understand, why is that happening? And the best reason I can come up with is that the show chooses to be reflective of what the house is experiencing, not us as viewers. And what I mean by that is, if you are bullying me, right, and everybody else thinks that you are in the right, and I'm not doing anything to say I'm being bullied by you, then the show is going to reflect that narrative. Mm-hmm. Do I agree with that? Not necessarily. I would like to see the show be more matter of fact.
Right.
This is happening, but we're going to show it to you in the realest way possible, not from their perspective. But I think the show's kind of objective is, let's show the house's reality instead of reality.
Well, and also, where's the drama in that? Where's the drama of seeing both sides of the story? You know, it's like, you're the one being bullied. If everybody doesn't like you, then you're obviously the one that's in the wrong. When you were done with the show, did you go back and watch every episode and every live feed?
Not every live feed.
I mean, I don't know how you would even have time to do that.
I would be dedicating my life to 82 days of 24/7 access.
Yeah. You guys do the math.
Yeah. I'm not doing that math. And like, I won the money. I know I lived it. I know how it happened.
That's fair.
I think at this point I've probably seen a majority of the episodes of my season, but a couple of winners from the past said, you don't have to watch it. Like, they said what I said. You have the money. You know how it happened. Whatever they said about you doesn't really matter.
That's probably best for the mental health, because
that's for the mental.
Yeah, my follow up was like, I mean, like I said, I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I know everything there's to know about Big Brother. I don't. But I watched the clips, and I only had to watch a couple to see the way that you were treated by some of the people in the house. Like, how was that to watch it back?
You know, it's been an evolution. I think first coming out of the house, it was kind of like, I watched the biggest episode where there was confrontation with someone from the season before me, Hannah Chada and Joseph. And I remember we were sitting there watching, and Hannah was really uneasy, and she was like, are you sure you want to see this? And I was like, yeah, I want to see it. I want to see it, because I know how it happened. Like, I know I'm right. And so Hannah got really uneasy, and I think she actually left the room for a little bit. I can't remember if she stayed or left the room, but it was a hard watch when she saw it when I was in the house, and hard watching it with me. And Joseph, bless that man, Joseph was using the toilet, like in the bathroom using the toilet when it happened. And so he didn't get the actual in the moment of experience of seeing it happen. And so that was his first time watching it all happen. So he was pretty surprised and upset by it.
Right.
And so my first time watching, I was like, woo, I was right. It's been a few years now, and I saw the clip recently, and I think it was the first time having a negative emotion around it, because it was kind of like, you really were alone, girl. Like, you were really, really siloed off from everybody. And I think it's like a hard truth sometimes. It's easy when you're first coming out and you have the endorphins and the money just hit. Even these years later, like, money's great and the life I live is great, but you just kind of look back at your younger self and you think, I have so much love and empathy for you. And like, it's nice to look back and be like, you're gonna be okay.
It probably almost feels like it wasn't that long ago, but it probably felt like you were watching like a little girl, you know? Because now you're finally out of it. And I could imagine you probably watch those clips back with such a different perspective. Like you said, like the excitement isn't necessarily there anymore. So that is like really fascinating that you could have different emotions going and watching things back like that.
It's unique, but also I try not to... Look, we're 3 years out now, right? So I try not to talk about it all the time, because there's 3 other groups of house guests that have come and they're experiencing their own thing. And Big Brother is not solely about Taylor Hale. But I don't think that should stop me from being able to speak to my experience and be reflective on it. I want this year's winner to come and sit with you 3 years from now and talk about their experience, right? And that's just like the beauty of reality TV. We have people who did reality TV in 2006 still talking about their times because it's interesting. It's anthropological.
I almost feel like it's more interesting when you're so far out of it. The first person I interviewed, her name is Shanley, and she was on the first season of Are You the One? And that was 10 years ago.
Oh my God.
So and she did sit here and say, like, I was fucking crazy on that show. So that to me was...
They're a special breed over there.
Yeah, really. Like, MTV dating show is crazy. But it was really cool to be able to talk to someone that is so far out of it. It was just a really interesting perspective that she had on her own experience, where I'm sure if I would have talked to her right after she was on the show, it would have been a very different interview.
Sure.
I want to go back to like the actual like production aspect for a second. So there were no like physical cameras or camera people in the house with you.
No. When you are actually living in the house, everything is behind a two-way mirror or a mounted camera. So imagine this wall behind me.
A two-way mirror.
Yeah, this wall behind me, all the mirrors that you can see, because you can see the house has mirrors everywhere. They're all two-way mirrors. Right behind that mirror is the camera person holding the camera, doing everything. Oh. Those are actual people. I'd say like the people in the walls. Those are actual people with cameras on trackers that go back and forth depending on where you are. Big Brother's always watching. Like, everyone is always watching you. You're in a giant fishbowl, not just to the outside world, but to the people directly behind you.
Wow.
And there are fun moments where it'll be like 3 a.m. and we're all awake talking nonsense. And like, I remember one time we heard a can crack open. And we were like, oh, we're drinking a beer, buddy. What are we doing tonight?
So they never talk to you. Like
no, never.
I would like make that my goal. Like, I need to get one of these guys to talk to me.
Well, okay. So Big Brother will talk to you because they have pre-recorded signals and prompts in the house. So if you were trying really hard to get one of the people to talk to you, you'd probably hear Big Brother go, stop that.
Oh, and they do play that on the show sometimes, right? Like, you'll hear that.
On the live feeds, you'll definitely hear it.
So what about producers? Like, were there any producers inside the house on the floor with you guys?
No. On a rare occasion, they'll cut the live feeds off, and then they might pipe in and be like, so like right before they open the backyard, an actual producer would pipe into the house and be like, hey guys, it's really hot outside, so please hydrate before we open the door. And like, we got you some extra electrolytes in the storage room. Please make sure you're drinking them when you're outside. Or when we go into the backyard for a competition, the feeds will cut off, and then a producer will pipe in over and say, hey, like, this is what we're doing for the comp. The costumes are in this place. You're going to go in one by one, and our wardrobe person will help you get fitted. They'll give you updates, and then they'll walk you through the rules of everything. Do we see people during competitions? Only in the backyard on occasion. So the backyard has a upper floor rig, I guess you can explain it that way. And you'll have competition supervisors standing there, but they'll be wearing all black. They'll usually be wearing sunglasses and a baseball cap. So like, you can't really see them, and you don't interact with them at all. The most we've interacted with them is this poor girl, someone on my season fainted during a competition.
Did they air that?
I think they did air it, yeah, because it was pretty significant to why she wasn't able to continue with it. But so she fainted, and we literally had to scream and be like, help, what do we do? And that's when they're like, okay, we're bringing someone in.
Right, because I'm sure they have medics and stuff that come
Yes.
if you need them.
Yes,
Yeah.
but if we're talking about, someone holding the camera and doing this or doing that, no, we don't see that. We had a little bit of that on Reindeer Games, but that's so different
Okay,
from Big
so
Brother.
yeah, so then you were also on Reindeer Games, which you were the runner-up, right?
It was.
That's fucking crazy. Like so have you never been evicted?
I've never been evicted, no.
That's amazing. But Reindeer Games is a similar setup to Big Brother,
Similar setup,
just a shorter length of time.
Yeah, we filmed it in 10 days, and it was a holiday. They totally decked out the house, probably the most beautiful Big Brother house I've ever seen. It was all Christmas theme and super fun. But that game was less about the social game of eliminating people or giving speeches. None of that was there. It was winning competitions. It was a great place for them to test new things in
Right.
Big Brother, and I want to see more competitions like that in Big Brother
Right.
proper.
I'm definitely familiar with Reindeer Games because it was such a talk of the town.
Was it really?
Well, on the Traitors last season.
Oh, yeah.
Between Brittany and Danielle. So I literally was like, I've got to watch this to see what all the hullabaloo is about.
Right, and you probably were like, oh, they hate each other from Big Brother.
No,
They
I was
didn't do
like,
a Big Brother season
I was
together.
like, what the fuck is Reindeer Games?
Yeah,
But-
that stuff ran deep. That was a crazy betrayal, the hamster wheel of death, as we so affectionately call it. Rachel Riley is on this season, or was on the season of Big Brother. We just saw her get eliminated in the exact same competition on this season.
Oh,
Which is-
so that's why it was such a bit. People were like, well, one, it's Rachel Riley.
Yes.
She's an icon, but people were really upset about the way that she got eliminated.
Yeah.
So, okay, that makes sense.
It's just Big Brother, and I say this as someone who vehemently champions a social game, because that's how I won.
Mm-hmm.
Big Brother at its core is always going to be about opportunities to save yourself through the social game. You can save yourself down to the very last second, giving a final plea on eviction night. You give a speech, you corral your votes, do everything you can. Rachel went out on an elimination competition. She didn't have one or two chances, like most people sitting on eviction night have had, to take themselves off the block, remove themselves from the block, get a vote to go in their favor. And so it just kind of goes against the core tenets of what Big Brother is.
Yeah.
And like, I love Rachel. She loves Big Brother so much. So it was really, really, really hard to see her go out like this.
Do you think that there is a reason for that? Like, is there ever, in your opinion, ever any like production interference for who should or who they do or don't want to win a challenge? Like, for example, I've heard on other reality shows that people will say, this challenge was rigged for this person to win and not this person to win. Do you feel that that's ever happened from your experience on Big Brother?
No, definitely not from my experience on Big Brother. I wish they rigged it. That would have been great for me. I mean, I don't think it was rigged for anyone to go out either. Yeah, I think like on other competition reality shows, it's really easy to say like, oh, this was rigged this way for someone to go, or even non-competition shows, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's easy to say this was rigged for one person or another person. And I know it's hard to believe me, a winner of the show, who is saying this, but then why would you believe someone who didn't win the show, who is more incentivized to speak negatively about
Right,
it?
and they're just bitter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, I don't say that to invalidate people's experiences, but like, the game itself was not set up to eliminate specifically you or help specifically somebody else.
So do you feel, I mean, you really only had like how they say like quote voice of God producers, right? They would come out of the microphones. So do you feel that there was any like production interference? Was there ever a moment where you were like, I feel like I'm kind of being produced right now?
The most that you could get even close to that is, different shows call them different things, confessionals, OTFs, like on the flies or whatever. In Big Brother, we call them diary rooms. We have a room that we go into. It's separated by like an airlock. So we go through the airlock and then we go into this special space.
Oh,
that's
is that so
completely
no one can hear you?
Yeah, it's
Wow.
soundproof. And it's an airlock. It's a hallway. But
Okay.
they call it an airlock. I don't know why.
Yeah, it sounds like you're like entering space.
Yeah, truly. We walk through the airlock. We go into the diary room. The diary room is soundproof. And you are talking to a camera lens with a speaker on it. And
So there's someone on the other side.
there is someone on the other side.
Okay.
It's not like America's Next Top Model where you just sound off. Like
Right.
there's someone talking to you on the other side. And they'll call you in after, let's say we had a game conversation. And they'll be like, oh, so we saw you just had that conversation. What was that about? And then if you're like me and you're super long-winded, you'll go on and on and on and on and on and on and on. And then they'll go, okay, give me a second. At least this is what happened for me. Some people are like better with their quick bites. They're like, Taylor, we're making a TV show. So like, you can't just ramble. So give me a second. So they would, I don't know what they do on the back end. I assume they like replay what I said and then they try to put it down to 1 to 2 sentences. And then they'll say, okay, tell me if this sounds about right. You had a conversation with A because you want them to work with B. And if they work with B, that means that you will be able to achieve C. Does that sound about right? And if it sounds right, I'll be like, yeah, that's perfect. Let's say that. And then I'll say those words.
Okay,
right?
gotcha.
Or I'll say something like, that's not exactly right. I really want to be able to achieve D. And they'll say, okay, go ahead. And so then I'll say those words. And then I'll be like, you know what? That just feels like too formal or not so organic. So I'm just going to add something else in there. I'm like, okay, go for it. And so that's kind of how my diary rooms would
So,
come
but
together.
they're not like urging you to be like, well, what do you think about so-and-so?
Not like The Bachelor.
Okay,
no.
gotcha.
At the most, it'll be like, hey, we saw this conversation that you had. What are your thoughts on this? And then let's like, at most, they'll be like, okay, well, like, I hear that you're considering this option. Do you want to walk through the alternate option? And I'll either be like, yeah, and talk through it.
Right.
Or I'll be like, no, it's not worth my time.
Right. So you felt like they were on your side. Not on your side maybe, but
Not
they were
on my
just doing
side.
they're just doing your job.
Doing their job. That's for sure.
Did you ever feel like they weren't on your side?
I think there were just a lot of times when I had it really, really rough. And I could tell they were empathetic, but like I also know they were working on a deadline. They're not there to be my therapist. They're there to do their job. And so like I think they're great people. I think they're doing their best they can to like be as neutral as possible.
Right.
But they're not in the diary room like, yeah, I can't believe so-and-so said that to you.
Right,
Or,
right.
well, I mean, maybe you kind of deserved it. They're just
Right.
not leaning into
They're
the
not your
bottle like
friend.
that. They're not your bestie.
People say
No.
that to me all the time. They're like, Kate, you love reality TV. Why don't you work on it? I'm like, because I could never put those people through what they like. No shade to
People gotta
anybody.
pay bills.
They've got to pay the bills. No shade to anybody that works on reality TV, that produces reality TV. But you are at the end of the day creating an entertaining television show, and unfortunately your best interests aren't necessarily
Not
their
always.
best interests. Did you guys have therapy on Big Brother?
Yeah, so we have the diary room downstairs, which is where that's all game stuff. You'll go in there to talk about what's happening, what you need, yada yada. There's also a second diary room that's upstairs. That's not decorated or anything like that. It's basically just like a black curtain.
Right.
And in that diary room, they'll give you, let's say, like, you need to take a medicine every day. They'll give you medicine in there. We had people who had injuries from competitions. They would see a doctor in that diary room.
Whoa.
And then if you were having a hard time, you could schedule an appointment with the psychologist, whatever she is. And so when I was really going through it, I called the psychologist, the doctor, the head doctor. I went to the diary room downstairs and said, hey, I want to schedule an appointment with the psychologist. And they said, okay, we'll reach out, see what time they're available. And then when they're available, they'll let you know, hey, they'll call you to the diary room upstairs. You go to the diary room upstairs, you pick up the phone, which is like a big office style conference phone.
Of course it is.
And you pick it up and you talk on the phone, or you put it on speaker and you just yap and yap and yap.
Oh, it's all over the phone.
Yeah, not in person.
Whoa.
Also, I was in like the COVID era, so
that's fair.
maybe it was different before. It might be different after. I kind of doubt it because it's such a small space.
Oh,
so.
well, I'm glad to hear that they at least have that. Most people that I've talked to, their shows had therapists and psychologists, and I'm like, thank God.
I know. I mean, at this point, yeah.
Yeah.
It's just these shows have been on for 20 plus years. They have to evolve with the times.
Totally.
They also give you 8 therapy sessions after the show, and you can transfer those with your actual therapist if you have one.
that's
Or they'll help
good.
you find one too.
That's great. Okay. What is slop?
good. Something I was never on.
Okay, so you've never eaten slop.
I've never eaten slop
Did
in the
you
Big
taste
Brother
it?
house. I didn't taste it in the Big Brother house, but I did taste it afterwards at like some podcast event I did with friends. Slop is Irish oatmeal like a protein powder and a vitamin powder.
Okay.
And the texture, it's not what you want to be eating.
Right.
So people say, oh, it's just oatmeal. It's not just oatmeal. It's like.
But they don't put anything else in it. It's like truly just this Irish oatmeal.
Yeah. I mean, you have to make it yourself. So they give you this big laminated recipe on how to make slop. But there's also like additional information on what you can eat with it. I think you can have like syrup if you want to. You can also have protein shakes if you want. Which again, that's not a great supplement, but it's something.
Right.
If I want a chocolate protein shake on top of slop, I'm drinking the chocolate protein shake instead.
Right. And slop, when you get put on slop, crazy.
You're a have-not is what it's called.
When you're a have-not, that means the only food that you consume is slop or these other things that you just mentioned.
Yeah. And if you're a have-not, also you have to take only cold showers for the entire week. There's only 2 showers in the Big Brother house, one in the HOH room and one like on the main floor. The bathroom has 2 showers. One is only cold water and one's only hot water. And there's only technically 2 toilets in the whole house.
Okay, by the way, this is actually another question I have too, now that we're talking about the bathrooms. There's cameras in there too.
Yes, but not in the way that you would think. The shower has frosted glass that will meet you at your shoulders.
Oh, okay. Love Island kind of has that too.
Right.
Okay,
and
gotcha.
so the cameras will point into the shower, but not like the camera's stationed over there and it's looking at me this way.
This is such a weight lifted because the way I read it was like, you are not safe anywhere. There's even cameras in the bathroom. But the Big Brother bathroom is kind of like a big open space. Yeah, very similar to the type of bathroom that they have on Love Island as well.
Yes, very similar to that. Think of like the glam room on Love Island if it also had a shower and a toilet stall in there.
Right.
There is a camera in like the toilet stall, but it's not projected to the outside world. There have been people who have tried to cheat on slop in the bathroom. And there have also been a couple people, I think 1, maybe 2 people who have just like passed out randomly in the bathroom.
Oh, so I guess
and they weren't even on
they
slop.
kind of have to.
Yeah, so it's like, okay, either people are trying to cheat. Maybe people try to sneak in there a game. I haven't seen it, but it could happen. So they need to have eyes on what's happening in that space, even if it's not being projected to the world. Yeah.
So other than slop, let's say you're not a have-not, you're a have. You get the normal food that is available in the house. Do you like put in orders of things that you want?
No, but this is the best part about the Big Brother house. I'm
food?
so serious. I am so serious. If there's one thing, no matter how much money I have in my bank account, I don't mind grocery shopping, but it's a chore that you have to do, right? In the Big Brother house, you have to hit a button to get into the pantry. And once a week, they will refresh the pantry with the most beautiful produce you've ever seen in your life. Baskets of fresh avocados and baskets of onions and potatoes and fresh fruits. And they were giving us like pork chops and chicken and chicken wings and amazing cuts of steak and shrimp and scallops one time. Like, we have to cook it.
Right.
But we don't have to shop for it.
Yeah.
And it was amazing. You can just go in there and like grocery shop and make any meal that you want to make. So yeah, I do miss that.
What were the rules on alcohol? Were there any?
Not enough.
Oh, tea.
Well, here's the thing. If you go in the Big Brother house and whatever, I guess people call it tolerance you have, it can get shot pretty quickly because you're going basically 3 months barely touching alcohol. Maybe once a week. Maybe. It used to be pretty regular. They would give them alcohol. When you start with 16 people in the house, they deliver alcohol, but they give you like 2 bottles of red wine, 1 bottle of white wine, and maybe 7 beers.
Right. Like not enough for, no one's getting
Not
drunk.
enough for 16 people, no. But you haven't had alcohol through sequester, and now on top of that, maybe 2-3 weeks in the Big Brother house, you're going on a month and a half without alcohol. People start loose lips, baby.
Right.
They start acting a fool because they haven't touched it in so long.
I love that there's more rules with alcohol in reality TV, but man, reality TV was fun to watch when they were just throwing alcohol.
They literally
at them.
were like, okay, keep going, keep going, give us good TV, you know?
Right.
So it's, I mean, I get it. It's just the modern era of where we are right now, but like, damn, it used to make some good shit.
So the one question I do also have about this whole Big Brother being on a soundstage thing, you probably won't really know the answer to this because you've never been evicted.
Oh, yeah, I don't know.
But when someone gets evicted, they leave the house and they're immediately on a stage in front of a live studio audience. Is that right?
That is correct.
How overwhelming that must be to go from, how long are you in the Big Brother house? Like how long?
My season was 82 days in the house, and we just had a season that was 100 days.
Are you kidding me? That's how long?
Yeah. And that's not even including your sequester.
So you go that long without seeing anyone, and then it's like, boom, you're in front of like
A
100
live
people.
audience.
That's
Yeah.
insane. And they do like a exit interview, like
With
right there with
Julie.
Julie.
Yeah.
Also, you don't have any contact to the outside world.
0.
God, for 100 days, that's like actually crazy. That's truly, truly crazy. I didn't realize it was that long. But they will tell you if something happens, if something really big happens in the world, they will tell you. Or if there's like a family emergency, I guess.
Yeah.
What is like the level of bad it has to be for them to tell you things?
That's a good question. I think definitely with family, they'll tell you what they'll usually do. We've had people who've lost grandparents while they were in the Big Brother house. And so they'll get called into the DR, the diary room, and there'll just be a card sitting there for them. And you get kind of excited when you see a card. You're like, ooh, what special power do I have? Your grandpa died. And that's happened a couple times. So like,
It's just written on a card.
it not your grandpa died, but it is like, hey, I'm so sorry to tell you this.
But
We
it's
gotta
not
call
even
this
like
on.
a producer telling you through the wall.
No. Maybe it's changed since, I don't know. But
Wow.
at least season 16, I think, is the last time that happened. And they went in, read a card, got the information that way.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Were you scared to like not be in contact with your people for so long?
I mean, I was either coming out with 750 to my knowledge. I was either coming out with 750 or seeing them. Like,
Right.
the game has an end date. So I was like,
That's true.
I'll see you at the end date.
Exactly. And regardless, you're going to have an experience. So beside your winning, so again, you won $750,000. That is the prize for Big Brother. But you also won an additional $50,000 because you were America's favorite house guest, which I'm sorry, to me, that is just so fucking funny that like no one in your house like liked you.
I know, it was great.
But everybody else did.
It was so incredible walking out onto our finale stage. I just won the game, and I was so certain that Michael on my season would be AFP because I adore him and he's amazing. And when I won, I was just like, ain't no fucking way.
Yeah,
I didn't
right.
even know it was possible. I didn't know that you could win and also be AFP.
You were the
but
first.
Yeah.
So besides those winnings, did you guys get paid like a weekly stipend for being there?
Yeah, you get paid $1,000 for every week that you're there. And then if you make the jury phase, because the last 9 people eliminated from the game are the ones who decide who wins. So if you make jury, you get that, extra 4 or 5 maybe weeks of $1,000.
Right.
So it's nice and cushy.
I read this somewhere, and I need you to confirm this for me. Is it true that on Big Brother, you guys get woken up to pop music blaring through the house?
Yeah, we just and we'll talk about this soon, I'm sure, but I host Big Brother Unlocked now. And we just kind of revealed that to the audience. We have awake hours. You have to be awake from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m.
Okay.
or whenever they wake you up for whatever's happening that day. And so Big Brother will come over the speaker and say, "Good morning, house guests. It's time to get up and start your day." And then it'll say, "Please change your batteries," because we all have to wear microphones.
Do you sleep with the microphones on?
You take the microphone off, but there's microphones hanging above your
Okay.
bed, so things can get caught if things happen. But you wake up, and the whole thing is you have to get out of bed, change the battery in your microphone, or else, your mic will die and it'll be a disaster.
Right.
So while the morning things are happening, they play 3 songs every day.
Is it the same 3 songs?
No, not the same 3 songs.
Oh.
No, not at all. I mean, like, they played Janet Jackson one morning, they played Bruno Mars one morning, they played it's fun. It's a fun
Well,
wake
yeah,
up.
I kind of love that after you being deprived of like any type of entertainment for so long. Did they do the whole song?
Well, they do 3 songs, but, and you learn this the hard way the very first week in the house. If anybody starts talking game, they cut the music.
I would be so fucking pissed
Yeah.
if I would yell at everyone.
No, and
Just
that's what
shut
happens.
the fuck up during the song.
That is what happens. The first week you don't know that they're gonna this is music, it's so nice. You're kind of dancing, and then the song will just stop in the middle, and you're like, what happened?
Right.
And then eventually someone will pipe in and be like, oh, if someone starts talking game in the morning, we have to cut the music. And the whole house is like, who was it?
Right. Public
Yeah.
enemy number 1
Literally.
right there. What are some other like behind the scenes facts about Big Brother that you feel someone would be surprised to learn? Do you remember there being any moment where you just were like, didn't really know like this is how it happened?
This is like not juicy or exciting, but okay, I'll give you 2 things. There are a couple moments because they're 2-way mirrors, like I said. So whoever the camera person is walking into the camera ring, I don't even know what they call it. If they let any light through, then you can see the people on the other side of the mirror. And so I guess there's like there has to be a door that opens to get into that area. And I remember I was sitting in the head of the HOH room talking to someone, and I think one of the people working the camera just left a door cracked on their end. And so we're talking, and all of a sudden you see these outlines of people in their cameras, and we were like, oh my God. Oh my God.
They'd be like, no one say anything.
Yeah, but they see us freezing and being like,
oh yeah.
Do you see that? So they'll be like, you cannot talk. That's a very common. You cannot talk about production is a very common thing that comes up. And I'm like, I'm not talking about it. You're just standing there.
Right.
So that was probably one. And there's another thing where like, I think most people watching this podcast wouldn't know about it. So they expanded after Reindeer Games. They expanded a competition space into the soundstage right next to the Big Brother house. And so most of the competitions take place in the backyard, but there are kind of like 2, maybe 3 other locations we'll occasionally go to. One is like, we call it the basement. It's like outside and down some stairs, but they'll build out a lot of competitions, some competitions in that space. So you literally will walk out the front door and walk maybe half a block on the soundstage. We're like Madeline, 12 little girls in 2 straight lines being paraded through.
So you're walking on the lot to get to this next spot.
Yeah, and that only happens once, maybe twice in a season. And I think even that might have changed because that was before we had the second soundstage. And so now I think they just use that second soundstage. But
wow, that is fascinating.
Yeah.
Which was harder to win?
Ooh.
Big Brother or Miss Michigan?
Big Brother for sure. Oh my God. The people I competed with at Miss USA and at Miss Michigan USA, phenomenal people. Big Brother, you are intentionally and purposefully thrown into a space with people who do not agree with you, have lived a completely different life from you, and you're all competing for life-changing money.
Yeah.
And then, my experience was just like uniquely unique.
100%. So let's talk about post Big Brother. Normally the question I ask all my guests is, would you ever go on reality TV again? But it has been announced that you are going to be competing on the 38th season of The Amazing Race alongside Kyland Young, who was also on Big Brother, also on The Challenge, which everyone knows is one of my favorite shows.
Yeah.
How did that come about?
So this is probably the 3rd interview I've done. I wish he was here. It's really weird talking about it without him because it's a partner thing.
Yeah.
But we've since come out and said it. We've been very, very, very privately dating. We were together when we filmed the show. We're not together right now. But we had just the best time ever actually doing the race together. How did it actually come together? They contacted me about The Amazing Race. Similar story to before.
They've really been trying to get you on The Amazing Race.
It was meant to be. It was going to happen whether I wanted to or not. So when they first started casting the season of The Amazing Race, which they knew at that point would be an all Big Brother season, a Big Brother and a loved one.
But yeah, because it wasn't too big. You were the only double Big Brother pair.
Yeah. So when they first started contacting people, they called me and they said, hey, we're doing a season. We want you to do it. And I was like, oh, great. I'll do it with Joseph. Joseph is my best friend, ex-boyfriend, but best friend from my season of Big Brother. And we're just such a duo. We're so locked in. I think we always kind of assumed we'd do it together. And so I said, awesome. Finally, we got the call. We're going to do it together. And they were like, absolutely not. No, it can't be Joseph.
Why?
I was like, okay, well.
Why, CBS? Why?
Give us Jailer back. No, but then I was like, okay, well, I'd like to do it with Kyland. And they're like, no, you can't have a double Big Brother pair. We'd like you to bring someone that's not from reality TV. I was like, okay, well, let's see how this goes. And I asked my friend to do it, and it just didn't work out for whatever reason. And I said, thank you, no thank you. This is all within the first week. I think they started casting. And then about a month and a half went by after removing myself from the process, and they circled back and they were like, so what's going on with you and Kyland? I think we can get you guys to do it. And I was like, okay, let's see. So really, they did not want a single double Big Brother pair on the race at all. Very, very vehemently against it. And I think Kyland and I are just competitors, but we also really care about the thing that we're doing. And so in every round of the interview that we did, there was a skepticism from the Amazing Race team. They were like, these Big Brother people, oh my God, like a double Big Brother pair, like here they go. They think they're so cocky and they think they know so much. And so we're people that care. And we were like, no, we want to do this.
Oh, yeah.
We want to do this together. I know this is an uphill battle. Like, I know you're not really receptive to us doing this together, but just give us the opportunity. And like, we promise we are all in on this.
Right. You are a reality TV fan. Like, you respect the game, truly. And I know that from watching Kyland on The Challenge as well. Like, he respects the game. If I went on The Amazing Race with my boyfriend, he would not be my boyfriend anymore.
Well,
I could tell, yeah. And maybe, is that a full circle moment for you when you were like, I don't want to ruin a friendship. That's why you didn't originally do Amazing Race. And now look at you.
Yeah, I didn't want to ruin a friendship, so I ruined a relationship. Yeah. No, and the thing is, like, to this day, he and I are very, 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 very close. So I think I'm just excited. I don't know, like, in both ways. I'm really excited in some ways for people to kind of get a peek into what our dynamic is, because we've been so private about it for so long. And in other ways, I'm not at all excited for people to get that peek, because, you know, I had such a great previous relationship when I was dating Joseph. But even with all the good that came with that, there was just so much negativity from the public, to the point where I was like, I am never going to go public with any relationship ever again until I'm just like married. Right. Boom, surprise. Right. There's a ring on my finger, right? But when you get a chance to race with the person that you love the most for $1 million over the course of 21 days, get your ass up and you pound the pavement. Yeah, totally. We had such a good time, and I'm glad I did it.
I am like such a fan of the two of you, so I am so excited for this to air.
And this is the first time that I've filmed something through completion without it airing in real time. Reindeer Games, we filmed it, but it aired like a week after we filmed, right?
Oh, wow.
So this is the first time I have to be very tight-lipped.
Yeah,
and I'm like,
and you're going to be edited.
Yeah, I'm going to be edited. I had a couple crash outs.
I mean, as one does.
Here, Miss Congeniality, America's favorite player. Like, I have a few moments that if they're in the episode, it might be nasty, Taylor.
You're only human. Also, people crash out like in going through airport security, flying to like Oklahoma, okay? Like, traveling sucks, and trying to find your way around. That's why The Amazing Race exists.
Yes.
Because people crash out.
Oh, yeah. Poor Kyland.
I can't wait to see it.
Yeah.
I feel like he probably stayed pretty calm.
I think we were a really good pair for each other. Okay. We had a couple rules going into it, and one of our rules was we both can't be down at the same time. So, like, even in the moments where we were both trending down, we'd think, okay, you're down, I'm going to carry us.
Right.
Like, I got the emotional weight for both of us.
That's a really good mindset.
I think we did a good job of that.
So aside from that, you also host, you mentioned this earlier, Big Brother Unlocked with Derek. It's you and Derek, right? We know him from The Traitors. He's also obviously from Big Brother. So tell me more about what you're doing with that and just all the other cool things that you're doing.
Oh my God. Well, I've always loved entertainment and news and reality TV, and so I've always wanted to be in entertainment news and hosting in some capacity. And so to go from, you know, a title holder of a state, which is an amazing accomplishment, to Big Brother winner, first Black woman to win, first person to win AFP and the season, and then I made an appearance on the next season giving commentary on the season, and then I made an appearance on the next season as a jury roundtable host, and 1 year after that, now I'm hosting a sports center after show talk show about Big Brother. It's like that type of ascension within reality TV is so crazy.
It is.
I can't believe that this has been my experience.
I literally just saw you do a video with Lance Bass dancing to Bye Bye Bye. Nobody else has that experience.
What? Like, Lance Bass, we took him into the backyard for Unlocked bit, and like his eyes got so big.
Wow.
And there's, you know, a line I had to give to trigger a thing that we were doing in the bit. And I said, Lance, I hope you had a good time with us. And he goes, like, genuinely I don't even think he knew the camera was rolling. He was like, are you kidding me, Taylor? Like, I'm living my dream. I'm in the Big Brother backyard. This is incredible.
Celebrities are truly just like us.
Truly just like us. And I'm like, Lance Bass, I had the VHS of you performing at Madison Square Garden. Like, I was doing Darren's Dance Grooves. Right. What are you talking about? So just very, very cool to meet. Amazing. Jerry O'Connell is a huge fan. Lance Bass is a huge fan.
Loves reality TV, that guy.
And like knows what he's talking about.
Yeah, he really does.
It's just a good time. So Big Brother Unlocked is this after show that we do. We analyze some gameplays. We talk about big moves and bad moves. We rank the top 3 and the worst 3 house guests every week. And then we do some other fun stuff like family visits, which we used to do all the time on the main show. So I've been really happy that we're bringing it back on this show, like more time to go home and see what's going on with these people and get to know them.
Yeah.
And then we're doing other behind the scenes stuff like we'll take you behind the scenes with how does a competition get built. The Wall is a very famous Big Brother competition, and seeing this hyper speed loop of how it came together, it's a really cool thing that fans want to see. Or the wardrobe department has been on fire this season, and we got to do a package with them where we kind of told the audience there's only 3 people on this entire team, and they have to get 16 people ready for multiple competitions every week. So that's the stuff that I love opening up, unlocking the door for the fans for, and like just hosting this and being part of the team now it's been great. I never ever thought I'd be going back to Studio City to go to the Big Brother house, and I'm there every other Thursday.
Yeah, that's your career now. I do think there's such like at least I hope that there is a want for people seeing like that type of thing. I mean, that's kind of what I'm trying to do with this podcast of like the reality of reality TV. Like people want to see how the wall is built, it's there. You watch it for so many years, but you never really get to see, peel back the curtain like you've said to me. So I think that's like such a great idea. So this is the first season of Big Brother Unlocked.
First season of Big Brother Unlocked. It's doing really well. I'm really proud of it. I'm just really excited for next season, and hopefully we get to do it every week instead of every other week and just keep delivering something really good that all the fans will enjoy.
Yeah. Well, I have to ask you, since you're right in front of me.
I'm right here.
You have been doing this for longer than me. You've been interviewing. You are a freaking pro. You're a pro, okay? You're a host. You do it all. Is there any advice that you could give me as someone who's just starting out, like interviewing people?
Oh my God. Well, one, I think I was asking this question 3 years ago when I first got off Big Brother, and I wanted to work full time for E! News, Entertainment Tonight, Extra. I had a friend that was at Extra, and I asked her, like, how do I do what you're doing without putting you out of a job?
Right.
And she told me to lean into Big Brother. And this is very niche to me, but I'll bring it back to you in a second. And I was really skeptical because I was like, I don't want to pigeonhole myself. I don't want to... I don't want to be one thing. But in that time, the industry has changed so much. E! News doesn't exist anymore.
I know.
Maybe they have a reporter on a carpet, but it's not a reporter that's going to get their own name and identity from being an E! News correspondent. Juliana Rancic, like Ryan Seacrest. Like, we knew these people as E! News hosts. We don't have that anymore. And those people who were hosting E! News were known more for their personality on social media than they were for hosting E! News.
Right.
And so I think what you are doing is the future of where the industry is. And I think you're doing it in such an incredibly responsible way. You have fun. You gossip a little bit, but I don't look at your page and think, oh, here's just this gossip TikToker that's not doing anything of substance. Like, you're really putting important context and history into what you're also talking about. And I think that's what we're missing. So I say all this, like this long thing to praise you and hype you up, while also saying the path that you are on is the path that people who are further ahead of me tell me I need to get on.
Okay.
I need to be more like you. You don't need to be more like me.
But I do want to be like you. Like, I want to be like you when I grow up. But that's
also, I mean, it's insane privilege, right? Like, I'm the Big Brother girl, and I have all this Paramount access and all that stuff. It's because of what I got grandfathered into. Right. And so I want us to be on the carpet together, right?
Okay, I told Taylor before we started that the red carpet scares me.
Okay, well, we'll go to reality TV show events together.
Okay, that we can do.
Okay, good.
That we can do.
Yeah.
It definitely, though, just to piggyback off of what you were saying of like following the Big Brother niche, I agree with that. I've learned that niche is so important. Yeah. That's why I really only talk about reality TV. And I've even noticed, like, for a while, it was hard for me to get out of just talking about Bravo reality TV.
Well, Bravo has so many different shows that it can feel really narrowing. But I mean, you love the challenge. We talk about my feelings on the challenge, but you love the challenge.
Taylor does not love the challenge.
No. Why did I bring this up? You can keep this in. I think because I had such a big moment in Big Brother, and there's like this big Big Brother Survivor, whatever other reality show pipeline into the challenge, that when I said I don't want to do that, it came across as I think I'm too good for that.
Oh, so they did ask you to do the challenge. Probably. That's a yes.
But I know what is in line with what I want to achieve, and I know what's going to take me away from the path. And that would just like for myself going on the challenge is me abandoning my own personal goals.
That is so fair. Literally.
I think it's fair.
That is so fair.
I like to think it's fair. A lot of other people don't think it's so fair.
Everybody's going to have an opinion.
Wait, can I ask you? I want to give you more. I want to give you more answers to your question because I feel like I circled around a little bit. Talk about what you love. That's the most important thing. And I think for me, when I do things like the Grammys carpet or, Super Bowl stuff, I always had 5 core questions, and they weren't boring boilerplate questions. They weren't like, why are you here tonight? Anyone can ask that question. What would you, and sometimes it's hard to do this, if you were scrolling on TikTok, if you were on the E! News, Entertainment Tonight pages, what are the questions that you want those people to ask? And then ask them yourself. I think that's going to make you your own brand, and your own brand is going to get you in the places where E! News Extra is going to plop in a guest correspondent, and it's going to be you. You're going to be asking the questions that you want to ask to Tom Cruise and Bradley Cooper and Ava DuVernay. Right. And who else?
That is great advice. Truly, that really is great advice. Thank you. I will definitely take that. I want to thank you, not only for coming here, it's truly an honor to sit across from you, but I also want to thank you for just being on reality TV, because if it wasn't for you and people like you, we wouldn't have these shows and these people to entertain us. And it's not easy to put yourself out there, obviously.
It's not.
A lot of people don't do it. I've never done it. So I thank you for doing that for us. And
I'm hijacking this again. What TV, if you could do any reality TV show, what would you do?
Okay, I do get asked this a lot.
Yes.
And I've thought really long and hard about it. I love competition shows.
Okay.
And I actually think that's kind of the reason why I'm afraid to watch Big Brother, because I fear I may be like, I can do this, I'm going to go on. Because I'll never go on Survivor, because I'll never live on an island and only eat rice.
But it's only like 28
Only.
Maybe I'm spoiled in the Big Brother world. You hit me with a 90-day game. 28 days, true. I'm like,
that's true. That's true. But although I love competition, I would never stray away from doing competition. But I do think a show like, have you ever watched Summer House, like on Bravo, right?
Yes, I watch Summer House.
Like, because I feel like I do that already. Like my dream, and I like pitch this all the time. I've already pitched this on this show, but I'm gonna say it again.
LA Summer House. Oh, is that what you were going to say?
I was just, we need one.
We really do.
You know what I think we do?
We're going to Palm Springs. Wow. Hire us. Hire us now. Hire us right now.
Yes, that is exactly what I want. I think we need Summer House, Palm Springs. People go to Palm Springs all the time. It's fun. I don't know. It wouldn't really be much different than like the Hampton Summer House, but.
Yeah, but I'm not flying to the Hamptons from LA. I'm not doing that. I
right.
Got from LAX to one of the airports out in New York, and then I got to get on a bus or a car to go to the Hamptons. I'm not.
It's not happening for us. And they have had Summer House spin-offs before, like Martha's Vineyard, that I think only lasted 2 seasons, which I loved.
I was going to be on the 3rd season.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah, they called, and I was going to be on there, and I have a lot of friends that grew up going to the Vineyard, and so we were going to bring in me and like a couple of really close friends.
You would have done it?
Oh, in a heartbeat. Yeah.
What the heck? Bravo.
Yeah. We'll see. It's on pause. We've seen
it is on pause.
We've seen people come back from on pause.
That's
before.
true. I really liked Martha's Vineyard, so I do hope it comes back.
It just needed that 3rd season to really come back. I'm sorry, I keep eating up your time, but like this is so
No,
fun.
I know. This is what always happens is we could just gab forever. Most people that I've talked to have been on reality, like love reality, so it's just like hard
fun to talk about.
Not to talk about it, but Summer House, Palm Springs, we're still working out the kinks. It's going to be something one of these days, but I would go on a show like Summer House just because you only film on the weekend and then you have your weeks to yourself. So I think that would be like fun.
Let me call someone at Bravo. Hold on. Wait a minute now.
Seriously. We can make this happen.
Yeah, because I think they're trying to do Next Gen LA.
Yeah, but I think we're a little too old for that.
a little too old.
I hate to say that.
I'm not next gen.
Yeah.
I'm
like
the current gen.
Yeah, current gen. All right, Taylor, tell everybody where they can find you, and then we'll cut the cameras, and then we'll keep talking.
We'll keep talking. Okay, you can find me. Hi, camera. You can find me on my social media handles at the Taylor Mack, MACK. And then you can see me and my partner Kyland on The Amazing Race season 38, the European adventure. We're going to be traveling throughout Europe, and we'll see how far we make it. And I hope you watch it and be kind to me and Kyland, even when I'm not kind to him.
Oh, that is good.
Yeah, but give it a watch, have some fun, and thanks for following my journey.
And don't forget, everybody has crash outs, okay? Yeah. Just not everybody's crash outs are filmed.
They're not filmed, and they're not shown in front of millions of people.
Yes.
And I know you guys like to be like, you signed up for this. And it's like, well, I did.
Yeah, but
I don't have a rebuttal.
Right, and I did.
I did.
And that's that.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. You're the best.
You're the best. Oh my God, thank you.